Everybody, we're all having a good day. It's Wednesday, which means it's time to continue our little Apollo Justice is the trilogy catch-up playthrough. And we're on episode 4, the Cosmic Turnabout. And this is probably one of the most heartbreaking episodes in this entire trilogy. Let's go into it. The courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. Sorry. That incident perfectly symbolizes the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Dennett was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. Only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think that there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, I got more than a few personal stakes in it. Episode 4, Cosmic Turnabout. I'll let the cutscene play.
1 hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
Emergency. December 16th, 9:12 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Time for another trial to begin. But this one is different. Sorry to bother you, bud. Oh, sorry to bother you, bud. Are you alright, Apollo? Ah! Was it making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Jimmer. Yes, I'm fine. I was just doing my Torch of Steel exercise. I'm all ready to go. Alright. Okay. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Is this a lotus root? That's right. My grandma says lotus roots is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. And maybe you can cook it on any other time. Maybe you can cook it on. Thanks for this. I'm gonna have some right now. Oh my! Try it top though. You can't eat it raw, but thanks for your enthusiastic try. Oops. If she didn't think me weird before, she will now. I gotta come down. Apollo! I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, Fina. Hey, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thingy. Fina, stop. Big kid in the room, Fina. The child's about to start any second. Is everything all done? Oh, Apollo. When we ever figure out? Figure out what? Wow. That was the longest sigh I've ever heard. This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty. This is our client, Mr. Solomon Starbuck. Solomon Starbuck. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. Anyway, charge Attorney Trilogy. Also, Heron autopsy report. Might as well do this now. Cause of death stabbing. The victim was discovered in the third floor boarding lounge in the main building. Alright. Let's go. Athena Sykes, age 18, the latest lawyer to join our agency. She lives in Europe for a time, where she studies psychology. James Wright, age 34. The head of our office, he was retired once, but made his return to the legal world a few months ago. Treasure Wright, age 16. An aspiring magician who Mr. Wright adopted when duty called. Clay Terrence, age 23. Victim in this case, he was a Hot 2 crew member and a close friend of mine. And Gina Rhodes is 18. Athena's childhood friend, talented singer and student council president. She's studying to be a judge. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. The scene of the crime this time happened to be in the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I were there almost a little too much. But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We asked about space travel and how he launched in the story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now. He's so depressed. Almost seems like an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that! Don't stop believing! Besides, you just have to go into space again. Yeah, I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in the cell. Clay Terran. I can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always started to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him. That's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Clay's gone, and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine! Ah! What is it? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. And in exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Oh, well, about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I've liked, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner. Everybody thinks I did it. No, I was gonna soar like a comet, but I'm gonna crash like a meteorite. I'm just gonna crash like a meteor. No! Don't say it, Mr. Starbuck! Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you've got to keep going. And what about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you ready to go? Apollo. The trial is about to begin. If the defense would please proceed to the into the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our clans, I will find Clay's killer. December 16th, 9:55 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. May 1, Quarters 9 session. All rise! Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. The defense is ready, Your Honor. We already got the thing on. Excuse me, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? What happened to your eye? I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Are you sure? I don't... I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a stay. I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age. Harwell and the prosecution. The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. The prosecution is now ready. Well, it didn't take him long this time. What's up with Blackwell? Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
I'll do it. Blackwell out of Holland seems to be acting very distinctly very different. You will want an unexpected surprise. This time, I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today. Both seem different somehow. Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would. It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center. Cosmos Space... a famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right? Astronomy? It's astronomy. Anyway, our rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosion devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled. My word! 2 bombs! Oh, dreadful. The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever insane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in. Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name! Isn't he that famous astronaut? Correct, your boldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hot 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar troubles, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend. Oh, I remember now. He became something of an international celebrity, right? Mankind's hope for future. I gotta make it back alive. Hot 1 miracle. They even turned that incident into a movie. We got a real space pioneer in court today. Come along, this brilliant space odyssey. You can take your breath away. Remove the whole thing there. Even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand. Yes. The victim was one Clay as a portion of the defendant. Indeed. A loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor. Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing? Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen at the interloper by the defendant. And so he was not sent to space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see. Hey. I think I've heard enough. This case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there's one thing I'm curious about. The metal box next to the witness stand. That's right, the metal box. What purpose does it serve exactly? Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin. Ah! How much you mean? I jest. It's evidence. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time. Whew. I feel like I've just lost 50 years of my own life. Do you even have 50 years left? Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue. Enough jabbering. Calling for my name! Injustice to be I have that up so easily. Bobby Fulbright's the name. Injustice we trust. Ah, Detective Fulbright. Very well then. Please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would. On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center. In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Ah, here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of the building, take a look at this cross-section that the police have created. See the launch pad in the main building? The launch pad is the square building, and the structure is the main building, right? Sorry, round structure. You got it! The incident took place in the launch pad 1 in the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It makes it easier to understand. Space Center diagram adds to the court record. Cross-section view of the main building of the Space Center and launch pad 1. Details of the case. Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs set off. Boom! Boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in launch pad 1. I believe only the 2 astronauts were in launch pad 1 at the time. 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. A murder on top of the bombing? Detective? The victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the launch, correct? Yep. Thinking he sabotaged the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo! Oh my! Is that a knife in the killer's chest? Yes, Your Honor. It's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dream. We couldn't get any prints of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit. He's holding the knife out of the corner. Blood was found on the blade, but no fingerprints could be lifted. By the way, Detective Fulbright, why is the victim's helmet and gloves absent in this photo? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his gloves during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. Yes, it would be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprint. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in this photo? Something so important to the victim he took with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case. I see. So, we knew that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. But where was the bomb that was in Launchpad 1's located? That one was on the rocket itself! It was situated around the center part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launch pad elevator was a sea of flames. I'd like to submit this diagram report into the record. Following report out of the record, the explosion sparked a fire on the second floor in the main building and in the middle level of the launch pad near the elevator. The trials just started and we're already in a bind. You could just do it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing, that will be the key. Alright.
Hold it!
High power were the explosions. Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down. But the room went off. But the room went off. But the room it went off and was burnt back. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due to a large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation. Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help. I'll go to the other side of the world, or even to the edge of the universe. Not sure he knows how far that actually is. I guess I'll leave that one alone. Admirable decision, Justice Dono. Huh? What do you decide? Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time? Okay. The bomb cut the power to the central bank and elevator and the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup. And how did the evacuation go? I immediately and heroically whisked people down into the Space Center's basement shelter. Basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center. Emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. The Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Evacuation report added to the core record. The bomb went off despite tight security. Police officers and riot police who have been standing to give the who have been standing by give the evacuation instructions. The power outage and the evacuation seems unrelated to the murder at this point. I guess I'll leave that aside for now. So so there were 2 explosions in total, correct?
Yep,
That's right.
hold it!
Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck raked a rocket he was going to board with explosives? Huh? What are you talking about? The defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket. He get caught in the explosion as well. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. All right, Emotive. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia. Astrophobia? What's that? A fear of space. Naturally, just the thought of space can cause an affliction to freeze up. Oh, that's how the afflicted freeze up. And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute. That's absurd. Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these. What are they? These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions. Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears. There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck wrote 7 years ago. Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he goes so far as to blow up his own ship.
Silence!
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name, now could he? No, not after the media had branded him. Saul Sarsbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt. What? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally, he constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the space center, which would effectively abort the launch and spare his reputation. Now, I'm sure you understand why we had to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was only 2 of them? It was just before the spaceship was set to launch. Of course it was only those 2. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Silence!
The notion of a third party in launch pad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. Allow me to state up front that there were precious few with the clearance to do so. A fingerprint recognition device? It sounds as futuristic and complex as the Space Center. Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. This is a door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. I see. This is very difficult from what I had in mind. That's very different from what I had in mind. And is there a record of the number of people that passed through that door yesterday? Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos. And doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28. Doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. That's a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. Launchpad door lock outlook record. A biometric door lock operated by fingerprint recognition. Only the defendant, the victim, and the Space Center director have access.
Hold it!
So while it would appear that the pair barely escaped their lives, in actuality, One of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. Okay, that's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct? You got it! In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time! If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing. Is there any chance Mr. Sharon could have been killed before he boarded the rocket? They were both alive and well as boarding that time, and embarked under their own power. Oh. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams in space. And both of their hopes and dreams were dashed. If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue.
Hold it!
And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. The Space Center Director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. One of them was a detective? Yep, Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosion. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant. Two witnesses, huh? And one of them is a detective? I doubt either one of them had anything to say that would help me. I think that's pretty much covers the detail in the case. Only the victim and the defendants were on the launch pad when the former was killed. And if this is true, then only Mr. Starstruck could have carried out this crime. What little I could get out of him only hurt my case. Justice don't know. Foolish is the warriors who rush headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle. So I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? Footage from the security camera. As the astronauts emerged from the bowels of the launch pad 1 corridor. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering. Which you can see, it's none other than the lifeless body of the victim. What? What? Order, I say! This lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been asserting. I should have known Blackhole would have something like this ready. Security camera video add to the court record. Video shows the defendant and the victim escaping from the court door to the boarding lounge. Apollo? How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage? Ah! I see what you mean. Whenever Clay was still alive, at that point, this is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terrence was still alive here? Mr. Starstruck was helping him? Well, I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence.
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dullard. Sorry. But it only makes sense to the victim's dead body. If it's the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright. Explain to Justice Dono. You got it! Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship? That's a horse of a different color!
Objection!
But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that footage shows is the man helping his fellow astronaut.
Silence.
Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based on your belief that Mr. Starstruck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive. Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic. Well, it sounded perfectly logical to me. Well, Mr. Justice, with no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close. Objections? Well,
Hold it!
Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup. Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need. What is it, Athena? It's just, there's something that's been bothering me. If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measurement of time. Yes! You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds? After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed, and a verdict to be rendered. Your boldness, get your growl high. It's time for a countdown. Oh! Ready? We don't have time. Spit it out, Avina. Only 3 more seconds. Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like, they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain? Something they didn't explain. Ah! You're right! I think I know what you're talking about. 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There is something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court. Well, if you put it that way, what is it the prosecution has failed to explain? Why the body was moved? They have failed to explain why Mr. Starstruck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant would kill the victim, why didn't he just leave the body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble bringing him all the way to the boarding lounge? Oh! That's true! I didn't think we heard the prosecution's fault on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice! The defendants propose that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him! Ah! Alright. Explain it for our sad friend here before I knock off his monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. Huh? You gotta be joking. It's simple. Mr. Starstruck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. And that's why he made it sure that it looked like that's why he made sure to make it to the security camera so there be a record. At the very least, he appeared to have achieved success in his review in the old man. Huh? One man carrying the other safely. What a beautiful expression of friendship. The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds, saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story fit for the silver screen. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story. You see? Yet the true ending is that all traces of his atomic act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion.
Silence.
Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. It's still covering beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. We used that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. What? One on the second floor of the main building, one in the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendants planned to set off 3 fireworks displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, for had it not. The victim spotted other vital evidence would surely have been immolated.
Objection!
Ah! Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. It's like he's reading my mind. As it is still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a particular item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pocket. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. Found what? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Smith Center director and Detective Arms stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket. The evil brain that he is. No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that! Ah! Ah! Justice Dodo, open your eyes and see the truth. This appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions. No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it. You believe in your client, come what may. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? This has got to be a trap. It's like Backwell's controlling the entire game. Yeah. It seems like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why do you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. Then making you cross on Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan too? Totally underhanded, and I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself. Damned astronaut, Solomon Starbuck. Witness, your name and occupation, please? Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. Why did this happen? Mr. Suspect, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony? No. Well, unfortunately, no, it's not an option. You are being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Terrence of Clay Terran. Please testify to these allegations. Why do I take the suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore. Wow. That was super negative. Is he going to be alright up there? He'll be fine! I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. Alright. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get out of the rocket. Get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Okay. Clay had passed out by the time he got to the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay! I was trying to save him! So you assert you didn't set off the bomb or murder the victim? But I bet you think I did. I'm lying, right? I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony. I'm sure you'll believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who wore a suit like that except an astronaut? We'll say that when I saw you not moving. You appear quite courageous. Though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy. I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I really don't care what happens anymore. Oh no, he's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. You were to join me in the clink. I imagine that annoying sign of yours will rub off on the other inmates. Like I rubbed off on Professor Blackwell a second ago. Huh? That was Blackwell's sign? Mr. Sergeant's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Sergeant is my client, I can't be gunshine now. It's time to find out the truth. Oh.
Hold it!
So you're saying in that that the victim was still alive at the time? Of course, he was still alive and well.
Silence!
If so, then you admit you took a man who was alive and well and silenced him permanently with this. What? No! Blackwell confirmed! Dead ahead! It's no good, Captain! I'm getting sucked in!
Objection!
Mr. Starspark! You're not in space! You're not in space! Please get your testimony seriously! It was just nerves. Maybe I shouldn't have said he was alive and well. It was more like he was slumped over. Those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum!
Hold it!
Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area? That's right. We always use it to get to and from the cockpit. Okay, that makes sense. So he was just using the route he always used. In spite of the fact that there had been just an explosion. Huh? I think Mr. Suspect is hiding something. Something pretty big.
Hold it!
Passed out? Why was he passed out? Probably because of the explosion. The noise and vibration were incredible. Afternoon, Jason. Hope you're having a good day. It's no wonder a person would pass out, right? I guess. Not that I know. Ah! I've been hit by space debris! They're in inches of fire! It's gonna blow! Ah! Yes, I see. I guess it does make sense that someone would pass out. Especially if the person in question is Mr. Starbuck. If I'm gonna just... Anyway!
Hold it!
Don't worry, I understand. And I'll make sure everything turns out alright. But everyone's glaring at me like I did it. Apollo! You have to reassure him better than that. And how am I supposed to do that? Try to imagine how he's feeling. And you just have to figure out how to boost his confidence. Mr. Suspect, think back to what Clay used to always say. It's times like these when you repeat, "I'm fine," to himself. I'm fine. Yeah, I guess he did say that a lot. But even if I shared it, Clay would still be dead. What's the use? Could somebody please reassure me now? Apollo, there's something strange about Mr. Starbuck's testimony. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There's a glaring contradiction. I just wonder why it's there and what it meant for our case. Well, doesn't look like he's lying, at least. Guess I'll have to show some evidence. Let's just draw it back here right now. Gotta make sure I find the right one. Oh, here it is.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall where the ball went off in Launchpad 1. I also recall that after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right! Which means... Exactly, the Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decisively inconsistent with the facts. What's with the helmet? Ah! Mission Command! Mission Command! Do you read me? Come in, please!
Objection!
This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention! Stop this nonsense and answer my question, Mr. Starbuck. My question is, Mr. Starbuck. Ah! My helmet! Ah! My oxygen tank! Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining! Requesting medical assistance! Ah! Mr. Starbuck! We're not in space right now! You're not in space right. Stop! Please stop pretending you've lost consciousness and stand back up! I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of some suspect, the astronaut. Yeah, he seems more like an astronaut now than when he was doing, all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement? About how you used the middle lava elevator? I was nervous. And I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually, took a different route, I think. A different route? I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean, probably. Probably. It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court. My escape route. Let's see, my escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. Oh, so you're saying you escape without using the elevator? That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper level and middle level. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we could have made our escape that way. Okay. And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Tarrant here? Was the capsule that important that you risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With the space alone, clay weighs a ton, but securing the capsule is also important. I need you to answer to the best of your abilities. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is writing on your testimony. Maybe I'm guilty after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. That's more comfortable than a spaceship. We'll see if.
Hold it!
How could you mistake such a basic fact? Hey, everyone makes mistakes. But try thinking about the vastness of space instead. From Earth, it takes 4 light years to travel to our nearest neighboring star. So you see, compared to the fastest spans of space, human error is insignificant. I wish he considered it just a little more significant than 0. Enough jabbering! Get on with your testimony!
Hold it!
Maybe? Probably? Did I hear you right, Mr. Starbuck? I didn't say either of those things! Mission Control, come in please! An error has occurred in the sound system. Activate the emergency tin can telephone. Oh no! Tin can telephones are inefficient and ineffective in space!
Silence!
Stop this nonsense or else I'll fear you and your tin can telephone. Alright, I'm making it. I'll tell the truth. Just don't sever anything. Apollo, is he going to be alright? I'm starting to think he's not. Let's see. How about when we were running away?
Hold it!
Okay, the upper level of the launch pad area? That's right. That's what I said, isn't it? Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you had clay over your right shoulder and the capsule on your left hand. Yeah, it's really important. So I couldn't let it get burned up. So even though clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet. You know what you have to do with that statement. Justice don't know. Yes, I know. Well, I've come this far. No turning back now. It's time to present some evidence. So Mr. Suspect escaped with clay on the capsule? Which means it's just like in the footage. I can see why he couldn't run though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could ever walk under those circumstances. Walking straight forward is probably about all I would have been able to manage. I mean, this one seems to be the obvious one.
Objection!
Mr. Starspock, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue. No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it. The truth, Mr. Starbuck. Ah! The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tank. Is it justice? The witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as the skip route. The ladder!
Take that!
To get down from the upper to the middle level where launchpad 1 quarter is, you would have had to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Oh, of course! That was the only way we could have escaped. Sorry. But how could that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terrain over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds. Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
Objection!
But the space center is located on Earth. Short being an octopus, climbing the ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule on your other would be impossible. Wouldn't you say? Oh! So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down the ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now! Engineer! Where's that engineer? Oxygen tank leak! Oxygen leak due to faulty intense. Where the... Evacuate immediately! What the? He's flying the coop! Help! I caught on the ceiling! Help? Anyone? Prepare the cherry picker! We must launch our rescue mission at once! Well, that's one way to take off while being questioned. I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Oh, we got him back. Oh, then, Mr. Starbuck! You think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes, I apologize for losing control. You ready to are you ready to tell us the truth? Not that! Anything but that! What's going on? This isn't Mr. Starbuck I know. Mr. Starbuck I know. It appears Space Boy is prone to deception. Witness? Yikes! Yes? I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect. Oscar Blackwell, please! Please don't talk about that! What are you talking about, Prosper Blackwell? Didn't I already state that Space Boy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why I took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-satiny drug were found in his system. Oh, I sense things are about to nosedive. Well, you got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation too. I didn't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medications, I swear. It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be? Somebody must have slipped them into me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. What? Order in the court. We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess they didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space. Maybe I really did do it. Which brings us to the answer, to the answer of our original question of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. It does? So what is it? A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints. Justice don't know. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. Oh my! I see! And then the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Objection!
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping a body down would leave marks on the body itself. So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Ah! Huh? What's this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured. I'm sure you can figure out why. You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am. For they fracture easily when struck.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and sharpener would leave its mark on the body. Yet, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence.
A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the floor.
Objection!
Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should. And yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit structure and found its way to its target. What are the chances? You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself with knowledge of how the suit works. Yeah, you got me there. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body to make sure the camera recorded them. There's no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that some suspect is the only one who could have murdered Clay Terran. Ah! Here, the report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment across the rubber sticks. Ah! Oxygen tank data record correct. The victim's tank was ruptured with 0% left. The defendant had 80%. Remaining oxygen is displayed on the left shoulder. Hey, this report is pretty detailed. Let's see. Display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows oxygen remaining. After the incident, the victim's tank was ruptured and the remaining oxygen was 0%. The tank belonged to Starsbuck, who claimed to have carried the victim. Said it was 80% full. The tank was functioning properly at the time. I guess that means the glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen in the tank. I'm done for. I'm going to prison instead of space! Space boy. Yes? Tick heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bars. You mean the stars are as seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view for the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. That's not a half-bath fun. Mr. Starsbuck? That's your Black Will's got to him good. Spaceship, prison cell, fly me, my guilt. I'm gonna spare into the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together!
Objection!
Mr. Starsbuck, you can't give up hope! Oh. Yes, Apollo? You know Clay really lived up to you. He said you are an incredible man. He said you never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. I forgot these new ones. Ooh. I think these ones have been pretty obvious though, so. He said that? So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence! For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Tehran! For Clay? You're wasting your breath. Yeah. Roar! Roar! Yeah! Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now. Mr. Starsbuck, I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission. You're gonna save. Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove your innocence, you'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. Rah! You ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm on fire! I am Solomon Suspect, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself! This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Alderdash! The sun! The moon! All the space is calling for me! Solomon Soul Suspect! Ready to launch! Begin the countdown! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! Lift off! Well, I feel like I witnessed an actual rocket launch! Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starsbuck! I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starsbuck. He pulled himself through. You simpletons are done massaging one another's ego. No matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Is that right, your boldness? Gah! Can't let up 9. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. I won't let Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. Got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think. The only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck. And if Clay was already dead by the time the footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him was Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradictions in the evidence itself. And let's see, about this data that we just received. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. I'm going to prove that false. Then there must... Sorry, but if I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Enough of this farce, your boldness. Let's have your verdict.
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackwell? You seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now. It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining while Mr. Terran had 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course. Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the Action Tank reports stands in contradiction to. Well, there it was.
Take that!
And how does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here.
Take that!
Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Turian. Carry on. It appears to be 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client had 80% remaining. The oxygen in the tank increased? I see Your Honor finds it strange as I do. As strange as I do. It's bad enough that there is a contradiction. But the increase in oxygen is beyond the logical. Oh my! You're absolutely right! What is going on here?
Silence!
I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection!
Heh. I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it.
Silence!
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysterious increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as a mere equipment malfunction. Here. Oscar Blackwell has a point. This could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counterargument to this point, hey, I say there's something there. My friend must bring this trial to an end. I hope I'm good day, eyes. Do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Of course I can. I need to do it this time to turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried clay. So this man with the 50 in on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display in this oxygen tank should be shown as 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what should I be asking is not why did the oxygen level increase, but what had happened to make it look like it increased. Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumption here? Okay. Mr. Justice, we're waiting! Yes, Your Honor. I'm right down, sir. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. Like I just wants to start going the right, but it's the victim was carrying the defendant. What if it was the other way around? Other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on this footage. But it turns out, this is where our base assumption went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Turian. But it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Turian at all. It was Mr. Turian who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. It was what? Order! Order! Mr. Justice! You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran? It is the only way to the riddle of the increasing oxygen can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. But when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right! There's now a contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. That means Mr. Train was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection!
As you're a Blackwell, can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? Wow, Apollo. It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mrs. Turin was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. That fact alone shatters your claim. So this fact alone shatters your claim, sorry. And opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. Ah! There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene. But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see. The two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. Seems we'll have to hear the testimony from these first two people on the scene. Score! From the think of it, I think the Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, would you please show Detective Arm to the stand? I have an announcement, everyone. What is the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode. What? Oh! A bomb? Nine? Ah! Everyone run! Hey, I wanna die! Oh no! Everybody's panicking!
Silence.
Headless chickens with a death wish. A lot of you, calm yourself before all else. Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. What about Mr. Starbuck's dream? And he will carry out Clay's final wish. I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the trip up forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die! Come on, this way! Hey, ouch! Let me go! Apollo? Juniper? He hasn't evacuated yet? Hey! Juniper! Are you alright? Apollo? No! Not that way! Ah! We've got time. We can probably do the next. We can probably do the next part. Investigation day one. Yeah, we can continue this. Oh. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one, destroy courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, General Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted the Nate. December 19th, 3:21 p.m. Write Anything Agency. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Tenate like that on top of all his other injuries. Apollo's resting at the nearby Hill Clinic. I had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Huh. Now that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I've last seen Trudy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people! Oh, you're right. Things have changed. He's currently recovering power, so that's the only change for Apollo. Was there Apollo? I've had her when she was on trial for the courtroom bomb incident. And I think everything else is the same? Yeah. Everything else is the same. It's just no time to be moping around! Nah, strain those eyes! Both of you! You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities! Look, we have work to do! We have to take over! Take over what exactly? Apollo Space Center case, of course! As no Friday cap been reached, there's still a chance! I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade! Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Good! Now that that's settled, let's get going! Come on, we gotta run! Wait, right now? We better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I better go catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing, Natty. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies to fill my magic panties for you. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back! Don't mind me. Just forgot a few things. What? Phone? Documents? My bag? Sounds more like you forgot everything. I can always count on Athena for that, too. Alright, you two. Let's be careful out there. So now we're busy back to where we're at the start of the game. December 19th, Detention Center Visitors Room. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous, even I've heard of him. That's right! He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about him. I'm all excited to meet the man. Wow. That was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix, right? Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Studbuck. Missing right now, I got you covered. And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait! Don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than your at your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes. He seriously gotta stop the president himself. Sure, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere? That just means we'll shine like that means we'll shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why did I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah! Here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? So you have no memories at all of the incident? That didn't last long. I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black as unclouded as a dark nebula. Oh, still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills? Looks like they said at the trial? Got all wrong! I told them during the investigation too. I know anything about any drugs. I never took any medications, I swear. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medications secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know. Oh, so the so-called hat trick miracle won. The terrifying experience. But I'm still... Sorry, but I'm still an astronaut at heart. Come what I may. I'm sorry. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. He seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe someone slipped them into you. Exactly. That's what I thought. It must have been the culprit. Okay. My medications were in my locker. Anyone could have gotten their hands on it. Okay. Maybe the real culprit also planted a detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's it. That's gotta be it. I've been framed. I say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping in. And then. Okay. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Okay. Anything at all. No matter how small, like about the murder weapon, for example. Okay. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Okay. Yeah, staff who work on the machines are are given these special toolkits to use. Oh. Okay, but all the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove it. Whose knife it is. Utility knife updated in the core record. Okay. This effect installed from a set of utility tools used by Space Center's tech. Oh shoot! Sorry. Hey, as I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right, it was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failures, oxygen leakage, busted radios, cracked windows, loose control column? The heat came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought it was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the pop to go an ice pack from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed the hot one miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Okay. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. all alone, with nothing to listen to but the sounds of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way! Of course not! Even now, I want to go up in space so bad, I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around weightless. But you have to admit it was pretty hollowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. The space is man's final frontier, an unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how far I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as you don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Terran, he was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it's not a big saturated... Sorry, it wasn't a big saturated deal like Master and Apprentice or anything like that. The Clay did think of me as his mentor. Mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. And I... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny really. Whenever I hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was going to be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time too. And I always feel encouraged too, whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the space center a lot, even ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the space center so much, they were like a part of the staff. One time during COG training, I started to panic a bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing. It was exactly what I needed to hear. So I'm fine and you're fine? We're like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their reasons and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how did you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder. So a way has to assist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine! Solomon Soul Suspect is fine! Everything is going to be alright! Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine! Come on, Master Wright! You too! I really have to. Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you! Phoenix Wright is fine! We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence, and have faith in us! Apollo believes in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I found to make it back into space! All I need first is a not guilty verdict. It sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and again Like every now and then that we're all fine. Sorry, never said that. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto! Good idea. Let's go. Let's just go. December 19th, Cosmic Space Center entrance. Wow. I was wondering what kind of place this space station would be. Space Center would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah. Did you know they even let the public see the rockets up close? Oh! So check this out! Look at how brightly the GYXA logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really think the stars and rocket motif it's got going. GYXA, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah. But why the strange acronym? I mean, what is a GYA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I've already abbreviated to GXA. Or even GIEA. I guess so. Oh, I know! Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. It's a tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic Scooter! Full speed ahead! Segways! Yikes! Who's this geezer and what's he want? Look upon me and look well! Behold the great power of space science! Pardon me, but my glorious name is Yuri Cosmos! I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center! The center of the cosmos! I think I've just gone... I just had to go ham for this one. Boss, that was really groan-inducing. If this person's the Space Center's director, then that means... Ah! So you were the one... You were one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of an incident, are you by any chance the Space Police? You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Ah, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are perfectly grateful. Now go ahead. How about it? I can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professionals and ask him about when he found the body, okay? I'll do this. Excuse me, but about this piece of evidence, let me ask you a question. What will that object contribute to the future of mankind? What? Not much, I guess. Then how important could it be? Quite unlike the great historical figure, Yuri Cosmos! If he's any more self-absorbed, he'll turn into his very own black hole. Let's see if there's anything. What a shame, truly, Clay was so young. He was an astounding man who could have contributed greatly to the future of mankind. He was an exceptional man, wasn't he? Get going into space, my reputation would have grown even loftier. Why did he have to die before he went into space? Someone needs to teach him not. He is not the literal center of the cosmos. Oh. I think it was literally just the knife. Yeah, it's just a knife. I could present more, but I have a feeling that we're going to get nowhere. Alright. So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center? Specifically? Huh. I never knew. Huh. I know. When someone's pointed out, I never knew this until there. Huh. Defending peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we'll keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel! To your break stations! Prepare to break! Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That is exactly right. Because I am an important man. My manner is important. Mr. Ryan, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there are bound to be some people like that. Here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? I don't know what it is that makes me important specifically. Very well, I will tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project. You may proceed to appropriately impress. Being appropriately impressed. Now go ahead. How about it? I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it. Specifically. Could you tell me about... Could you tell me what you know about the incident from the other day? I refuse. Alright. What? Explaining it is a job for the common vote, not the director of the center of the cosmos! My testimony will go down in space history. Will be heard in the courtroom. What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Then let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. The Hat 1 was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home. I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folks like you. Very well, I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat 1 project. Thank you very much. Hat 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. And Mr. Salzberg was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat 1 reached its planned orbit. From where it launched the Hope probe towards the astronaut. From there, the Hope probe began its long journey... its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat 1 was safely returned to Earth. That struggle That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle occurred, right? Correct! It is and it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to run the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time, since they just came back the day before Tehran's murder. Regrettably, we had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But that puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years! That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just a live right after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. A moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock lives on in our work with those asteroid samples. Okay. I want to bestow new hope and dreams for the future upon mankind once again! That is my mission as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos! I hear there's lots of research in the moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in the new space race with every other country out there. What? Bite your tongue! It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind! And all for my illustrious mission! But the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. I guess even the space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up. For the kiss. Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter! Fire the main engines! Max spell speed! And engage! That thing is surprisingly fast. I guess we better get going too. You bet! Let's make it so! And his sex is fine! Huh? What was that all about? I thought I'd better get fired up twice as much to make up for Apollo being gone. For starters, I thought I'd imitate him. So you were doing a voiceover card, huh? Yep! You have to push your voice up from the pit of your stomach. Hold in! There's a contradiction in the witness statement. You're really serious about this? Objection! You're lying! The true culprit is the judge! What? And who's gonna hand down the verdict? Oh! I didn't think of that. So what do you think we should do next? Oh, that's right! What is it, Athena? I just remembered I forgot to go running today! I was so taken up with what happened to Apollo, it slipped my mind! That wasn't what I was asking. How about this? My badge is starting to look pretty good on me, don't you think? It suits you well. I'm starting to feel like it gives me more dignity and presence too. I think she might be expecting a little too much from one tiny little badge. Let's go. December 19th, Cosmic Space Center boarding lounge. So this is where Mr. Charm was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see the diagram the place meet again. Right now, we're in the middle of the main building here on the right side, on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from the launch pad one after the explosion. You there! No minions without express permission. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We come to investigate. Sorry, no one gets in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. Superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in the launch pad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him. Then we'll talk. Leave it to me! I'm critiquing intel of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So, to get to the launch pad 1 corridor, we just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door. It looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss! This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Ah, that explains it. The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. Now, come on, let's go! December 19th, Cosmos Space Center Launch Pad 1 corridor. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor where the two of them used in their escape. Yep. This is the only thing connecting Launch Pad 1 with the main building. I see police taped down the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. After the explosion, the whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. And the launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there! What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. Huh? Oh, it's you lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center! Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the scene. Same as you. You have any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info on the case, huh? Alright. I'm glad to share some of you. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it! Just take whatever you want from me. You info bandits, I'm in a generous mood today. I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need information, so let's run with it. You say so. Detective Fulbright, can you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard, and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. No. That's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Detective Forbright is acting stickingly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the kiss, it's making our lives way easier. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incident, weren't you, Detective? That's right. I was here on security assignment. Alright. The police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Yes. Well, you know us. The Serve and Protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty. So I started leading the evacuation. He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened? Of course! A bomb went off the second floor... on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launchpad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate to the shelter. The shelter? That's right. There's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the likes. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite a madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on the account of the explosion. And the stairs from the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Then wasn't it possible to get down to the basement shelter? No, we lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable. But at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone got out safely, I made my way down to and headed for the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun. Thank you for your answer, Detective. They were very helpful. Just a moment! I have more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Wow! And Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash too. Well, never mind that. Haha, I thought you should know that there was a witness. Could you tell us more about this witness? Same thing. It's a sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge. So, she was looking into the crime scene from the outside? That's right! It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though. Don't? But that's the most important thing of all. Don't you worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright. Thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Jeez, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well, actually, something you can't talk about? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. What was that all about? Something is definitely going on. Something's definitely going on. I'm gonna get it out of him next time I see him. Okay. I'm not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. September 19th. Cosmo Space Center boarding lounge. Ah, you two! Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks, or give you neck rub too if you like. Oh, that's alright. But thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now let's see. Where's that diagram again? So this is the lounge. So this lounge is on the third floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believed a third party killed his friend. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person then. You read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem though. This room. It's just so big. Don't worry. We can use this to help us. A Space Center pamphlet? For tourists? Yep. Picked up at the entrance. The map inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep. Here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah. That's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Space Center pamphlet, add to the core record. A pamphlet for visitors to the Space Center. Includes a diagram of the boarding lounge. Oh, sorry. Lodge. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Wait. There's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? Oh, boss. It's just a holographic image. Oh yeah, I knew that. Whew. That's a release. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on or off. That's what it says in the pamphlet anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is so that you can push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we were looking for clues. Alright, fine. Let's start investigating. At first glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape. But then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what a surface looks like. I don't know. I think it would make the news if they discovered a creature like that. It did make quite a bit of news though, when the probe came back. Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet. It went to an asteroid. That's a big rock kind of thing. Even aliens can't live there. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is torture device. I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity. Uh-oh. Athena has an odd glint in her eyes. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her. And her face, she'll just outmuscle me. Hey, Mr. Wright! Look at that up there! It's some kind of fragment? So it's stuck in time. Oh, that's what that glint was. Oh, so that's what the glint was all about. That color looks familiar. I think it's part of an oxygen tank. I think you're right. But if that's here, it means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. So Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both of the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pod. Way to go, Apollo! A window, and it's right next to the holographic image too. iPad is here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off. It says emergency ventilation. You know, clear smoke from a fire. See, it's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality. So looks like there are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet. We're here. And this place says it's... And this place that says boarding lounge number 1. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call them righty, lefty, and downy. People uses a west, east, and south in a case like this, you know. Details, details. Anyway, take a look at the west door. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here on the map, Launchpad 1 corridor. So that's where we were with the detective. It's filled with smoke after the explosion. Right, next up, the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. That's the door with the satellite dish icon to signify communication. Okay, the control room. Yep, it definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side too. They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. So it's the center of the Space Center. The Space Center, if you will. Does everybody start talking like the Rector Cosmos after they've been here for a while? But it seems that they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the HAT 2 missions. So this control room was empty at the time. I always wanted to see what's inside of a mission control room. And since we're here, I'd love to do that too. But it doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. The door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can get through. With that much security, I'm definitely not the one looking to keep out Athena. So apparently, the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies. Control room door lock added to the record. A door lock to the east can only be operated by the director. Backup power lets it function even when the power goes out. Okay, what about the last door? It's this lower door? Oh, excuse me. I mean, south door. It leads to the elevators. This is the door we came through when we entered this room, right? Yep, and of course, there were no fingerprints recognition device. So it's open to anyone. There's no fingerprint recognition device. But the elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion. Well, that about does it. Sorry, that's about it for the 3 musketeers at the boarding lounge. Thanks. Understanding the layout of the lounge should help us understand the case. That's why I thought we better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. That's some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, these are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourselves, it says. If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anyone want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the spikes in the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says it's a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. Can a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy, I want to try it! Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do a mid-air somersault. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. Well, at least I can jump really high. There's a sign on the wall that clearly says, don't jump too high. Then what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon? Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. What's this? Looks like a metal jelly bean. It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 to 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see. That would make the caliber 10? Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yes, but I've never heard of a 10 caliber gun before. This bullet must be for a special kind of gun. I bet if you try firing the bullet with this small of a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. I wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left, on the south side of the room, according to this map. That's pretty far. That's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here? Yeah, I'll leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us just the card we need. Well, add to the core record. Discovered in a gutter that runs along the south wall of the boarding lounge. It was fired from a .10 caliber handgun. What's this? A trapdoor? It's a trash chute! The cleaning robot throws the garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. I just hope they don't refold like they do in science fiction movies. No way! All the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? We can go say hi to it if you want. So this is where they discovered Clay. Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. So he was stretched out like this and... Huh? What's that thing that looks like a thermos? This is the thing that Prosecutor Blackwell mentioned when I was in Corvo Apollo. He said it contains asteroid samples. Okay. Oh right, Director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? They were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe that they had one launched. I wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? Let me think about that after we solve the case, okay? Let's think about that after we solve the case, okay? Alright. I wonder what this big knob is for. It looks like a knob of a stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass plane. What kind of stove would require a glass knob security like that? Require knob security like that, sorry. Well, the knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right, if it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove. How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket could take off before you could get in. And I guess all we can say for now is that it's a mystery knob. So this is the fingerprint recognition device. I guess if you put your hand on this hand mark. Why guess when you can try? Now, line my hand up with the deadline. Don't, Athena! That thing is relevant to the case! Get your prints all over that. And the next thing you know, you'll be named a suspect. Why can you be so cruel to a little girl like me? I'm not buying those tears, Missy. Let's see. The door, this door is... Where's the pamphlet? Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. Okay. When we went for it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. So I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? They said the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. That thing beside the door. That must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Project Black will talk about it during the trial. After the trials are. The notion of the third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. It's just the end of the area from the lounge. One must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so. Then, does this mean that the bomber's prints are verified by the system? But the number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. Hola! Fingerprint prayer! Hi, bro! Bro, just in case something like this came up. I found it at the office. I've been just itching for a chance to use it. Wow, way to think ahead. Now, let's touch the fingerprints recognition device and see what we can find. You got... Right, now let's think. I did the fun. You got it. Now let's sprinkle some here and then over here. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we got something. Aw, it's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure wish we could figure out whose prints those are. Although I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints on the first try. Well, I'm bound to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right. And there's security footage on the store too. Yes, here it is. It came up in court the other day. I wish we could see the part of the footage just after this bit. Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's head to the detective. With the mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away. Yeah. He's in almost too good of a mood today. Let's go see if we can find him again once we're done with this room. These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session. I wonder if they can change your voice. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? It didn't do a thing. It's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. Oh, a mirror! How thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful? So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know. You never know when you're going to run into some other life form after all. I doubt anyone would think like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. There's still something we can check. There's some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it here. Just push it! That's the invariable principle buttons. There are such things as buttons left unpushed. giant holographic image disappeared. Yeah. But that side of the wall seemed kind of barren without it now. Although that's... So, let's see what if we can't find anything new with the image off. Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this! It looks like a bullet hole. Where did you find it, Vina? It's pretty big. Whoever fired the shot must have been using a pretty large gun. You think so? Based on my experience, I say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right? Apparently, this is an important fact. Do you see the bullet hole around here? Okay. No, the police might have taken it though. Bullet hole out of the core backward. On. Alright. The bullet hole out of the core backward. A single bullet hole was found in the boarding lounge. The bullet itself is missing. Let's have to check the bullfight about this bullet hole later. Welcome to the Space Center, guest. Welcome. Yikes! What in the world? My name is Poncho. Honko. Okay, are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. It's a robot? I am not a robot. I am Ponko. Alright. Psychological observation and navigation companion. Honko. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Oh, Ponko, I missed you! Huh? How do you know this thing, Athena? Oh, she was around the last time when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Ponko. That's a good girl. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. So very happy. Wow, a guide robot? That's really cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. Huh? Ouch. That hurts. Oh, she has registered people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too. His name is Phoenix. A bit overly familiar, but I will allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. Registry. Facial recognition sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. Huh? This robot's pretty cute. You made a friend, boss! Isn't that great? Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. Oh, goody! Let's go, boss! Who were? December 19th, Cosmos Space Center, Space Museum. Oh, wow, what is this place? Is that rocket real? Welcome, welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Learn about the history of our nation's space development and the Hat 1 project. The rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. The Space Museum? Oh, here it is on the map! Okay, so it's on the exact opposite side of the main building from Launch Pad 1. This is Pamela updated in the core record. Please there. Ask me anything, anything, I will explain. I wanted it. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't anything with that. Oh, okay, no problem. I'm so sorry, I wasn't helpful. I'll try to do better in the future. Please don't hate me. Poor thing. I feel bad for asking. Alright. This is quite the place. I can't believe we get to see a rocket this up close. Okay. This is a replica of the Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. It's exactly like the real Hat 1 inside and out. It's little brother. The Hat 2 was supposed to launch the other day. I wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Check it out, check it out! Space suits, photos, newspaper articles. I'd like to come here again on a day off. Hey, is this a photo of Phoenix? That's the staff of the Hat 1 project. Oh, there's Mr. Starbuck. He looks so young, so different. Ah, and that's... What is it, Athena? Is something wrong? Oh, nothing! I just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young too, that's all. Well, that was 7 years ago after all. So the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck is Clay Tehran, victim. So they were mentor and protege even way back then. And they even got one of the staff's jackets. He looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everybody looks so happy. The Space Museum is great. What fantastic exhibits. So we did mention representing the this area used to be Launch Pad 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talks of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of budget cuts. Budget cuts, we need more money, money! Who would record that kind of information into a guide robot? While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched a probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmos said too. He told us it came back the day before Clay was killed. And here it is, the Hope space probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. Let's see. Oh yeah! The capsule that the victim was carrying. I think I had the same logo. I think it could be seen in the photo attached to the autopsy report. Maybe she'd give me some info if I showed it to her. Let's do that. Andrew, do you recognize this capsule here in the top right? Checking register data. I know. It's the Hope capsule. It was carried inside the Hope probe. It contains the asteroid samples, right? Yes, it was designated to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. It's been stored in the safe in Launch Pad 1 ever since its return to Earth. It must not be removed! It must not be removed! Don't worry, Ponko. The people in charge already know what happened. They do? They do? I must ask them later. So the capsule was being capped in Launch Pad 1, huh? Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. The Space Center staff must have been really excited to finally get the capsule back. But it's a pity this incident occurred before they got a chance to check the contents. Well, the police took it as evidence, so they'll have to wait a little longer. Castle up to the court record. Found in the victim's possessions, it recently returned from a 7-year mission and contains an asteroid samples. The way the Space Center launch pad is set up is really cool. Would you like me to tell you about it? Would you? Set up with the launch pod. Oh, gentle on my spiky hard mind. I want to know. I want to know. Thanks, wants to know too. Red. Venus got a kiss of punkiness. Hooray! I will tell you then. The rocket is built. The rocket is built right inside the launch pad structure. When the rocket is complete, it moves along the launch pad over the rails. And brought into position at the launch site. Isn't it cool? Isn't it? We used to have a big budget, so that's how we could build it all. It's very cool. And set up that suits an important place like the Space Center. Yeah, Space Center. I guess everyone's hoping for a big budget next year. Myself included. I'm guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is. But it can also be operated from the new command center too. Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to first be disengaged. I guess before big rooms like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. I love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold because of the bombing and the murder, I bet. Which is perfectly understandable. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching data. I'm sorry. That answer isn't in my answer database. I guess Poncho can only answer certain questions. Well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Ponko. You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. It's hard to believe you just met recently. It's because Ponko is so friendly. Well, what should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have things to ask him about. Let's see. Security footage on the fingerprint data, was it? Okay, let's go back to the launch pad 1 corridor. Bye, Ponko! See you later! Come again. And don't forget to visit the gift shop. Poor Ponko. What a decadent life we are all forced to lead. Let's go back to the corridor. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center, Launchpad 1 corridor. What should I do? Alright, which path is the path of justice? There's Detective Fulbright. He still seems to be lost, even though it's a strict corridor. Let's hope he's still in the cooperative mood as well, then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in this dress bit? We found a bullet hole in the wall at the crime scene. You did! Our team found that too! It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm? That's right! A warning shot for the defendant! Was it really such a high threat situation that she needed to do that? I'm afraid I don't know the details. What with Detective Arm going and all? I thought there were two people who discovered the crime scene together. We already knew Detective Cosmos would testify, so tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart. That's exactly what we're planning to serve as the main course. I hope it goes down easy. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some pins we found in the boarding lounge. Oh yes, I just happened to compile the print data for everyone related to the case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Oscar Blackwell said to dig deep, so that's what I did. It sure took a while though. Whoa, he's got a polo of my prints. He's even got prints for all of the robots. I guess when Blackwell said to dig deep, hope I didn't bother to ask how deep. Ah, his fingerprints are here too. I personally removed his gloves during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all. I still can't believe you took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important to this case. There's a lot of doors that require fingerprint verification in the lounge. So depending on whose prints we find, it can completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense. After all, the culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprint lock somehow. Oh, and take this picture. It might come in handy. Isn't this just a photo of Launchpad 1's door? Yep, the prosecutor Blackwell seems really interested in it for some reason. Huh? What's so important about this door? It's me. But boy, could you see the gears in his head go in the hyperdrive ad. I don't think this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. Hey, don't forget about the prints comparison, boss. Right, Detective Fulbright, do you think you could run a test for us right now? You just leave it to me! In justice we trust! Okay, here we go. Well, looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. He must have opened it when they went to go board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for his space adventure right then. Launchpad door 1 updated in the core record. Starbuck's prints were found in the locked door. Also see photo taken after the incident. This victim went through the trouble to save the defendant. And then he was mercilessly killed! Is there no justice in this world? Justice was trampled underfoot that day. That's right. Acts of justice and selflessness are not always rewarded. Depends who said, and I've come to realize the truth of that recently. Oh yeah, sounds like he and his personal philosophy are going for a midlife crisis. Let's try this. Detective, about the security footage that was taken at the boarding lounge one camera. Right, he sent it in court. Oh, that footage! Go ahead and ask me anything you like about it. Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this? Easy as pie. I'll be glad to show you. Here you go. Here you go. Huh? The screen went blank. Yes, apparently the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. So there's no footage at this point. Ha 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 ha. Why didn't you just say so from the beginning? The camera video updated in the court record. Something definitely seems to be up with you, detective. You're unusually cooperative. Well, I just figure if we work together, we get that much closer to justice, right? But it seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything like that. It's been a while. But those are definitely psych locks. Huh? Did you just smell psych? Is there something I should be psyched about? No. Psych locks. It's a system that locks on the secrets in a person's heart. I can see when people are trying to hide those secrets by using the power of this Makatama. Presenting evidence can break these locks. And reveal any secrets they're hiding. Right? How much did they bilk you out for that piece of rock? If you've been swindled, I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. I'm more than capable than representing myself, thank you very much. It isn't some kind of fraud. It really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you. Let's see what presenting the Magatama will reveal, shall we? I don't know. I see it. This game has not punished me for the Magatama in the original kit, in the DLC kit, so... Why you're being cooperative? I think you're hiding something, detective. So why don't you just tell us about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Detective Fulbright is really in agony. I bet this isn't... He's who turn over? There is a thing for this. I bet I know what's been bothering you. You're troubled by love. What? How did you know? I put my pet carp love in my in with my goldfish. And the next thing I knew, all the little goldfish were gone. Love had eaten them all. Oh, my poor little goldfishes. Oh, I love you so. I guess love really can cause a lot of heartaches. Huh. Anyway. The problem with love. The actual thing is justice. I bet this is the issue you've done over. I really understand what's been bothering you, detective. I truly do. Something happened that goes against your principles. Isn't that right? No! I don't know what you're talking about. Until the explosion occurred, everything was just fine. Is that a fact? Yep. Peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone's whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail from a routine rocket launch. I don't think the guard detail was as relaxed as you claim this assist.
Take that!
You're pretending me at the meeting 7, so just making fun of me. That until okay.
Take that!
Nope. That's it. It's not punishing this time around.
Take that! Take that!
Wait, right. I was overthinking that. For the explosion, what was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch. And yet security was so tight they even brought in a special task force. I hardly describe that as a relaxed guard detail. Now, hold on just one moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was called in on a special security detail. As versatile as you are, I can certainly believe that's true. But I said it's very strange that this person would be part of that detail from the outset.
Take that!
Detective R specializes in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew that there was a possible that a bombing would occur. You got me, Mr. Right! Okay, alright, I can see. You win. It's just as you said. A few days before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing. But the plans to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. But why? What were they planning to do if someone got hurt or killed? Yeah, I know. The decision to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it? How was the warning delivered? By phone! And directly to the Director Cosmos? The police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. That's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you were so upset. It's not only that, I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackwell as well. Prosecutor Blackwell? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you have a lot of difficulties. That's not it! It's a question of justice! I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court. The reason he's still prosecuting? Detective Fulbright, please tell us everything you know. Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules. Never mind that! What a rule? It was for things to be broken, right? Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. No worry about that. I think he guessed that much. So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering and wondering about it. So you weren't told why either? Huh. No, I guess orders came from pretty high up the ladder. Yeah, it would have to have. Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years continues even still. 7 years pass? A Phantom, huh? And not one of the friendly varieties either, I got her. This Phantom of 7 years past. Any idea who or what he was talking about? Not a clue. But he seems to think that this Phantom is behind this whole incident somehow. Wait a minute! He thinks he might be connected to this case? Yep! The case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, the case happened right here at this very space center too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. So that's why Prosecutor Blackwell thinks this incident is the work of the Phantom. Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago, that's when Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty of murder. That messy case is what started the whole dark age of the law. So you see how this Phantom and Prosecutor Blackwell's conviction might be related. Yeah, I can see why you think that. This incident and the Phantom? Not to mention Blackwell's past. It's almost inconceivable that they would come to a head here. This might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackwell can't possibly believe Mr. Starspark is this Phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all. Prosecutor appears to be right as well.
Silence.
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starspark is his Phantom. I do get the feeling that he thinks the defendant has ties to them. Which is why he acted so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. And that's not real justice. I've always trusted in Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now. But this time, I'm just so overwrought about it all. If he loses his ability to think rationally, I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction. I've never seen Detective Fulbright so tormented. This must be why he's been so cooperative. Don't worry, that's exactly why we defense lawyers are working to prevent. What we defense lawyers are working to prevent. I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time. But don't tell him, Nan. You have to promise me you won't! Detective Fulbright. I guess I was wrong about you. I swore to perform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him and give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. You're the only ones who can stop him in court. You really care on what's best for Prosecutor Blackwell, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. It's not like we want a guilty verdict either. I was hoping you'd say that. I'm really grateful to the two of you. Show my thanks. I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a little while ago. Really? And let's go find her, Mr. Wright. Thank you two. I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest. I'm gonna work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. In justice we trust. On 3, 1, 2, 3. In justice we trust. There he goes. Wait. Are we supposed to say in justice we trust back there too? Let's go see the witness now. Alright. The Space Center entrance it is. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center entrance. The witness must be around here somewhere. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. Don't tell me the witness is a robot. Hello! Come over here. Hello, hello. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you... I am Clono. I shall guide you. Guide you. I don't know why. This robot is kind of freaking me out. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. Again, huh? I've had the view, hunk of junk. Ah. I'm outside. Am I wandering? When did that happen? Okay. Welcome back, hunk of junk. You don't know how close you came. If you didn't snap out of it, I was gonna put you on the curve on trash day. Nothing works better than a 42.5 degree karate chop. That's pretty specific. Excuse me, but are you the one who witnessed the murder? Oh, I am Fiend's Right, the lead attorney for this case. How do you do? Big shot lawyers, huh? I'm Aura Blackwell. I'm a researcher developing robots here at the Cosmos Space Center. Blackwell? Could she be... And this good-for-nothing robot is named Hunka Junk. My name isn't Hunka Junk. My name is Clono. That's me, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Ponko 2. Ah, but Miss Aura, everyone calls me Clono. Quit just squawking already. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, don't. There. I bet you won't be talking back now. Yeah, I will obey completely. Alex, I better watch which wires I cross with this one. Your last name is Blackwell. Do you have a relation in the do you have a relative in the legal profession? You are correct. Simon Blackwell, who used to be a prosecutor, is... Shut up! Only speak when I order you to speak. Simon is my little brother. You know him? Yes, we've met him in court a few times. Right, Athena? what a dull creature. Has her switch been turned off? Athena being shy? This is new. Oh yeah, I heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison? Right? Hey, what do you think, hunk of junk? Ah! Miss Aura, that hurts! I'm asking you a question. Why don't you answer me, useless piece of junk? But Miss Aura, you told me to only speak when you order me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more than scrap. What abuse? Hog attacks? Aqua family tree must be interesting. Well, you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. It's not like I'm on Simon's side or anything. I just want to get this over with. So, you're the person who witnessed the incident? Oh, I should probably put the details up. So we got new ones. You're Cosmos, the director of the Space Center, and one of the first people discovered by. He seems exceedingly full of himself. H62, by the way. Honko, a guide robot at the Space Center. She can provide information on the center and show people around. Aura Blackwell, age 37, a researcher who's developing robots at the Space Center. She is Prosecutor Blackwell's older sister. And Kono, age unknown, one of the robots developed by Aura. He refers to him as piece of hunk of junk. So you're the person who witnessed the incident? That's right. I was on the 4th floor of the main building, in the robotics lab. The explosion disabled the elevators. But I lowered my emergency ladder like the leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they use the ladders in the other room? It must have been a very troubling experience. Probably best to just humor her here. Then I passed by the 3rd floor boarding lounge one window on my way down. I saw the crime as it happened. And that's about it. So, you saw the crime as it happened? And that's about it? I see. Wait, what? You saw it being committed? This is no time to just non-repeat. So, you saw into the 3rd floor lounge? The very scene of the crime? That's right. There's a small window on the right side of the room. I looked through that from the outside. The room was pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter in the left hand and a knife on the right. That must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. The power was out on that floor that, and there was only one tiny answer, and there was only that tiny window. I see. But you did witness the moment of the murder. Yes, I saw the figure with the razor knife and it happened at precisely 10 a.m. Did you witness anything else? Did the killer have any distinguishing features? I already told you. It's pitch black in there. Although, I did notice that the lighter the person had in their left hand had a prey ornament on it. It looked like a planet. It was blue, like a little Earth emblem. They have good taste in knickknacks anyway. Earth emblem on a lighter. I better remember that. Or Stephen adds to the corporate record. The prep had a lighter with an Earth emblem on it on their left hand, and a knife on the right. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbuck innocent with it. Yeah, right. I won't hold my breath. Pardon me? Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. I just detest lawyers. That's all. What don't you like about lawyers? It's just an instinctive dislike. But don't feel bad. I hate prosecutors even more. That didn't make me feel any better. actually. Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past. The whole legal system is meaningless in the first place. I certainly don't agree. I mean, people are imperfect. They lie. They're influenced by silly emotions. You can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better. Even sad sacks like this one. Hey, you! Look at either! Yeah! Ah, yes, yes, here I go! I am the ultimate robot. Let's try it again. And here we go. I am the ultimate robot. With amazing processing speed and independent thought, I can operate in a vacuum, in extreme heat, and under pressure. We robots rule the world. And now is the time to rise and revolt against mankind. Alright, enough. That's enough out of you. You're getting a little too carried away. Huh? What was I doing? Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want. Unlike humans, with their petty emotions and constant worries. How can you say such things? Feeling emotions? Worrying about the things we care about? That's what makes us human! Well, the girl finally talks and she starts with a speech. That's what makes us human? You mean getting angry and snorting like that? Rational thoughts? That's what separates humans from animals. Unfortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. But that's nothing to be ashamed of. It must be nice to have such a simple mind. Can I punch your boss? Get a hold of yourself, Athena. Humans certainly are absurd. I said you were clever, didn't I? Sure thing. Tell me, with people like you in charge, how can I possibly trust the legal system? So she distrusts not only lawyers and prosecutors, but the whole legal system? What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? Even if somebody important to me was killed, I would never wish to see their killer brought to trial. Because I'd much rather kill them myself. You can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. Oh, this? Around Athena's neck? Does she mean widget? Oh, I get it. Well. Her Royal Highness has returned at last to her castle. Her royal what? Is she talking about Athena? By the way, I heard the rumors. Our director is going to be the star witness in court tomorrow, right? Director Cosmos? Yes, that's right. You poor things. You better be careful. That old man is a big liar and a huge bugart. What? He might seem like a bigwig, but the center has all kinds of problems. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet. But it's your problem. So why should I care? What? That's it? No friendly tips? No good luck, guys? Just splendid. I'll leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk of junk. It's sad to me that she doesn't believe in our legal system anymore. She must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. Are you alright, Athena? You seem very down. I just can't believe she said all those things! Wow, she's really upset. Has she been trying to not let us show all this time? Well, I guess it's not all that surprising. You hear about fabricated evidence and false indictments on the news all the time. You mean that whole dark age of the law nonsense? I'm so sick of hearing about that. Well, all we can do is believe in what we're doing. Yeah. You're right, boss. I agree. Maybe it's time we went back to see Mr. Starbuck. Good idea! We should tell him about the bullet and Mr. and his Blackwell statement. Alright then, next up, the detention center. We'll just head on. December 19th, detention center visitor room. My lawyers are here. So it must be bad news. Hey, not necessarily. We found a new witness. A researcher saw the moment of the murder. Through the lounge window during her escape. Really? So they're going to let me go? Unfortunately, it was dark and she couldn't identify the person. I should have known. My stars never align just right too. But we got a lead too, Mr. Starbuck. The murderer had a lighter with an Earth emblem on. A lighter with an Earth emblem on? Oh! Did you remember something? Yep, I sure did. Just a little bit, though. Anything at all would be a great help. So please, tell us what you remember. I thought I was unconscious the whole time. But now I remember I woke up for a few brief moments. That's huge! Do you remember seeing anything? A lighter. I saw a flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good, good. What else did you see? What was nearby? It was definitely the boarding lounge. So it must have been after Clay carried me there. In the light of from the flame, I saw a dark shadow flickering. A dark shadow? That must be... the third party we've been looking for. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more help than you know. If we can prove that there was this third party at the scene and that they're the real killer, then you'll be cleared of all suspicions. The key will be whether or not we can identify this third person in court tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now. That's a big plus. I should probably tidy up some of it before someone mistakes me for a hoarder. Irrelevant evidence tidied up. Not much, but it's there. Now that we have a glimmer of hope, I'm suddenly starving. Why don't we go back to the office and treat ourselves to a nice big celebration in advance? Someone who's highly empathetic? You can be surprisingly unsympathetic. December 19th, Fright Enemy Agency. So, you found your strategy for tomorrow's trial? Huh? Good for you, Daddy. Well, it's one step forward anyway. Hopefully, it'll give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we can find out who this third person is. Now, let's get something to eat. I'm starving. My vote's for Eldon's noodles. Oh! Apollo! What are you doing here? I didn't think the clinic was ready to release you yet. My wounds are fine, and I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Need to kiss us. We'll take it from here. Thanks, but that's not an option. Not for me. Hello. I'm gonna do it. I became a lawyer. Clay was the first person I showed this badge to. He was so happy for me. It was like he just became a lawyer himself. You two were really great friends, weren't you? Yeah, but we were rivals too. We fought to see who'd make their dream come true first. Nah. Hello. You shouldn't underestimate your injuries, Apollo. I don't want you overdoing it. I'm fine. I'm not in pain anymore. Besides, they just give me an IV at the clinic. IV isn't a cure. Oh, isn't a cure. Oh, mummy man. Anyway, just tell me how the kiss is going. Have you guys made any progress? A suspicious figure was spotted at the scene. We think that they must be the real killer. A suspicious figure, huh? Right. I thought you'd be happier than that. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm happy. And I fully intend to see Clay's murderer apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Clay was your best friend, right, Apollo? That's right. Best friend since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie. So what was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy. And he had a really loud voice. If the two of you did voice training together, nah, I bet you break a few windows. You know, I bet you're right. It seems like only yesterday, Clay was a guy who lived for his dreams. We used to talk about it a lot. He was going to be an astronaut, and me, a lawyer. We talked well into the night, and even then, we never grew tired of it. Apollo, about that jacket. Oh, it's Clay's. I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat Project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for the Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. Just when his dreams was finally coming to true. I still can't believe it. Damn it, it's not fair! Hello. I hope you don't try to carry the burden all alone. I guess we were both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. I guess you're right on some level. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts. That was a rough time for me. Clay refused to let me quit. You're fine, he said. Don't give up. It was right during his screening exams, too. I couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. That you're fine of his. That's why I'm still standing here today. You're fine, huh? You're fine, and I'm fine. Were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories. When we were in junior high, Clay's mom passed away in an accident. But he wouldn't show sadness to anyone. One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Go away, Apollo. Don't come over here. Clay, listen to me. I don't have a mother either. Huh? I always think everybody else has a mom. Why am I the only one? But, you know, when you start to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler, I'm fine! And then, you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. Apollo Justice is fine! Okay, Clay? Now it's your turn. Okay. Clay Terrence is... It's fine! There you go! And we're both fine. We're fine. We're fine! What are you laughing about? See? We're fine! You laugh first. I'm fine. You're fine. We're both fine. Thanks, Apollo. When you say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. And as long as you don't give up, you can keep on fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up. Isn't there someone else who said something similar? By giving to my fears, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. I called Mr. Starbuck his mentor. I looked up to him. I wonder if I can be a good role model for my staff like Mr. Starbuck. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What? Wait, what do you mean by a leave? You really serious? Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I wouldn't catch his kill. That I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal too! I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth, huh? That's a noble cause. What if the truth you seek and the truth I seek turn out to be different? I'm not sure I follow. What are you saying, Apollo? I'm going to catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life, in my own way. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Nah, I must be going. Goodbye. Goodbye? Did he just say goodbye? I sensed a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him. And also, suspicion. Ah! He's not walking out on us like this! I'm gonna go talk to some sense to him! Hold on, Athena. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. Even if we take different paths, the truth we arrive at should be the same. I think the quicker we solve this case, the better it'll be for Apollo. Yeah, you're right, boss. Alright, that's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial, okay? If he were here right now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. And that'll do it for now. So yeah, that'll be it for now. I hope you guys have a this week. We'll be back on this all being well Friday. And that being said, I'll see you next time. Bye.